an editing 101 for the editors out there, and then as well as an advanced sort of editing for some of the writers that have been doing this a little while. So I have the post here. Obviously, the first thing I usually do is read through it, and I use Grammarly. The trick with Grammarly now, you have to actually click on each box or each block for it to do its thing. So make sure when you're going through and you're editing, you're clicking on each box, and then obviously you can fix any of the red. And this is just a random text generator, so none of this makes sense, but I just wanted to show you how it worked. So yeah, click on every single box, fix what needs to be fixed, etc. Subheadings. I know some of y'all have had issues with the subheadings and how to create them. So I will show you real quick. If you create a new line, this little plus icon over here, you hit that, and you have the option of heading. Now mine shows up here in my most recent, but if you don't see heading, you can type it in the search and it'll come up, or you can go browse all and look at basically every type of block that you can add. But for now, we're just going to do heading. Click on that, and now when I type, it will be a heading. I used to always use heading 3 on the old format. I use heading 2 now. It looks really big in the editing screen, but when you actually look at it, once you do the preview, it's not quite this big. So it's a little bit smaller, so it works well with the content. All right, so that's how you do subheadings. The social tab is the next thing I do. I want to make sure that they selected, once they added their featured image over here, which I don't think I have, but let's just say this is a featured image already there. You're going to go to social, in this image source, make sure that this says featured image. And that just ensures that when we link it on Twitter, Facebook, etc., it's going to use the image here. A different one obviously, but not this. This is the default, but it'll use that in the social tabs. What's next? Title length. So I purposely made this title long. My title is, I'm going to make this title too long so that I can show you how to fix it. Alright, so let's say you wanted to leave this title, which you can leave this title. It's too long for Google, but let me show you how you can actually have the best of both worlds. So you're going to go to General, and this is in the AIO SEO settings box. And you can see right here where it's just putting in the post title right now. This is like a tag that just puts in your entire title, which is right here. But let's say it's too long, but you want to keep the title the same in the actual article. Just delete that. And what I usually do is I'll kind of copy paste my current title, and I will post it there. And then I will remove words that maybe I don't need, like I'm going to make this title long so I can show you how to fix it. So I'm just going to say I'm going to make this too long so I can show you how to fix it. And now you can see 58 out of 60. I'm within my title range, and I still kept the regular title on the actual article itself. This is what will show up on Google. Alright, so that is good. Let's go look at the WP to Twitter. So some of y'all have tried to use this, and I've tried to explain it sometimes, and it's a little bit confusing. If you don't change anything whatsoever, this template right here is what will come out. It'll say check out the latest from, and then this hashtag account hashtag will actually plug in whoever's Twitter handle is attached to this article, whether it's yours or if it's someone you're editing, whoever it is, it'll put their Twitter handle right there. And then it'll say hashtag title hashtag, that puts in the title of this article, and then hashtag URL hashtag is the URL for this article. So you literally put those in there. People have tried to put it in before where they put the hashtag and they'll put their Twitter account in there and put hashtag. You don't have to do that. This is a command that tells it what is going to go in there. So if you wanted to do a custom one, you can put this is a custom tweet from hashtag account hashtag, and it's called hashtag title, hashtag, and then I just put the URL, hashtag URL, hashtag. And that's the commands. It'll tell you, it'll do it automatically for you. But those are the three you probably use the most: account, title, URL. If you want to adjust the next two tweets, because this will come out 3 times, it'll send this first tweet, and then right here you see where it says add custom retweets. These are the defaulted retweets. So this one will come out 4 hours after this first one, and it says in case you missed it, the latest from. And then 4 hours after this one comes out, this one comes out. It says, did you miss the latest from? So if you wanted to change those, same rules apply. Use the account, hashtag account, hashtag title, hashtag, whatever you want to do. So you can have, 3 different custom tweets. The only trick is don't use the same one, because Twitter will block it if it's exactly the same as the first one. So make it a little bit different, add an extra hashtag, or whatever. Change it just a little bit so it'll be a different tweet. All right. Make sure featured image is checked. Oh, make sure featured is checked. That's my next note here. So under categories, make sure that at least featured is checked. Sometimes if a writer comes in here and they save, they check these two and they save it, it won't automatically check featured. So make sure that that one is checked. Otherwise, the article will not show up at the top of the page on the mobile app as well as the desktop app. So we want to make sure that everyone gets that top billing, for the first couple days or whatever. So make sure featured is checked always. What's my next note here? Internal and external links. You'll know that the in the SEO box, where we at here? Sometimes you'll look at the basic SEO and it's saying that we don't have any internal links and we don't have any external links. We don't necessarily have to have them in every single article, but if you want to add them, I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really easy. So first things first, let's get a URL of something. Doesn't matter what it is. Let's just go to mba.com. And then I'm just going to copy this URL. Control C, and we'll go back over here to my main page, and let's say I wanted this to be a link to that mba.com. I'm going to highlight it, and then right here, this little link button, I'm going to click on that. It's going to bring up a URL field. I'm just going to paste my URL there. Usually I click right here where it says open in new tab. That way when they click on it, they don't leave the actual page that they're on. And then once I do that, I click enter, and boom. Now it is an external link that'll lead to the mba.com. If you want to do an internal link, you can do this 2 ways. You can either go to the actual link that you want to on goingfor2.com and just do what we just did right here, or you can click on this link and you can actually do a search in this field. So let's say we wanted to search for, let's just say, Javonte Williams. Give it a few seconds to think. It's going to find all the articles that have Javonte Williams either in the title or the content. So let's say we wanted to put the draft preview link there. We can click that. Boom. Now that is also linked internally. Now when we go down and look at our SEO box, you will see that it's all good. And you can see that our grade up here now is at a 90 out of 100. We still have some readability issues because, quite frankly, they're not even real words. So just transition words, subheading description, all this stuff is not going to be good because it's just fake text. What else? Let's go to primary category. So you have 4 or 5 categories selected over here. If you just leave it alone, it's going to sort of dynamically select one of these that are the most popular. But let's say you want to make sure that the category that shows up on the main page is the one you want. So you can go here to auto select category. If you drop down, you can pick any category you want. Usually I stick to the major ones like Devi or Dynasty or Daily Fantasy. Stick to the full heading, but you can pick any one you want. and this will be the one that'll show up. It'll still fall under all these categories on the main page, but the one that'll actually show up on the article, let me just show you. If you go to goingfor2.com, this one right here. So this little yellow square that shows up on your article, this is the primary category. So if this is what you want to show up on there, you can select that as a default. And then I didn't know if y'all knew this, but if you actually click on this, it'll take you to all of the articles that have been tagged with that betting advice link. So now we are in the betting advice category, and everything that's ever had that tag or that category checked is going to be listed here. So that's something that's kind of cool too. All right, let's go back. Images. So a couple things with images. One, it is part of SEO, so we want to try to have images in there. Unfortunately, the Getty images, we don't get SEO credit for those. So I still try to add at least one regular image. Now, the old-fashioned way to do it, if you click enter, you can go to the plus sign, and it is a block where you can just select image, and you can search for it if it's not there. And then obviously you can upload it. You can select an image from the media library here. You can also, if you got the media library pulled up, you can drag and drop something that's been downloaded. I can drop it there if I want to, but I'm not going to do that because I already have that picture right there. So that's one way to add a photo. I've actually learned a couple better ways that are quicker. So let's delete this box, remove block. So I'm on a Mac, but on a PC, I'm sure you can do the same thing. But I have this little download folder down here. And when I download a picture, I have all my pictures here. Let's say I wanted to add this one of Michael Thomas into the article. I can literally just take it, drag it where I want it, let go, and give it a second, and then it'll add it there automatically. It takes a few seconds for it to load. And I'm going to do one more. There's one other trick you can also do. As soon as that loads, it's a big picture, so it takes a few minutes for it to scale down. While it's doing that, let me go ahead and create another line here and show you the other way you can add. So I'm going to minimize, or I'm actually going to shrink my screen up over here. So I already went and searched for Lamar Jackson, and I set it on large images. So as it's right there, it's large on Google, and this is the one I want to add. So I opened it up, so I get the bigger image here, and literally you can just take this picture right from here and drag it right into your article. And it might not work only because I'm already loading one. Oh yeah, so there it goes. So literally you can do it that way as well. So you don't have to actually download the image onto your computer and then add it to your article. You can do it straight from Google right into your article. Oops, wrong one. We want to open this one up. And then one last thing I wanted to show you on images. This one, every once in a while it does this if I try to load up too many. But if you actually look, the image actually is in there. For some reason it does that error if you try to load two images at once. So you can always go there. But if you just add to that one and let it do its thing and let it think, it'll eventually add the picture in there. And the one last thing I wanted to show you on images is if you click on the image and then over here where you got post or block. So we're going to highlight block. And basically now all these options here are for the block that we are currently on. So you can do this with text too. If you go to text, you're on block. These are all options for just that bit of text right there. But right now we're going to worry about just the picture and this alt text. So this alt text, without getting into too much detail, is Google searchable. So if you had keywords, if this was a DFS article, you can put DFS. You could put DraftKings. You could put DraftKings advice. If I could spell. And you can put the date, so 4/8/2021. Just any keywords you want to put in this thing is actually going to help your article with more keywords. And that also helps your SEO as well. As you can see, it went up a couple points. We're at now 92 out of 100. That's pretty much it for editing. And like I said, some of those things are more advanced. If, for some of the writers that have been doing this a while, if you want to try to help the editors out by knocking some of this stuff out yourself, that would be great. Yeah, I think that's it.